I don't know if y'all are familiar with the legend of the Kayumari. It's an indigenous tribe in the mountains, and they were scarce on food, water, everything, right? And then they came upon this blue deer, the blue deer that signifies, knowledge, wisdom, that led them to the path of success and like a rich life. So he led them to like sun, the food, the wind, everything that was, able for them to like nourish their lives. So basically, like, we want to be that Kayumari to students here in the university, and not only the students here, but the people, the individuals around the community to help guide them.
And so what you'll see here at TAMIU is the idea that we provide opportunities to cultivate educators by positioning mentors and supports along the way in the journey. And they're opportunities, they're invitations really to make a decision. We'll provide the challenge and also the support, but it's up to you to really take that option, make that decision about what you're going to do with that opportunity.
My name is Cynthia Garcia, and I'm a school counselor at Memorial Middle School.
My name is Taylor Guzman. I'm a 7th grader and I go to Memorial Middle School.
My name is Viridiana Gonzalez. I'm a 7th grader and I go to Memorial Middle School.
We targeted our students who were interested in education and teaching in particular, and so we invited them to the college where they got to explore the campus and meet with the TAFE representatives and do activities and see all the fun stuff that teaching has to offer.
For me, it was exciting because I knew already that TAMIU was a big, large place, but I actually never got the time to explore it.
I mean, you could see the success in their eyes, and it kind of gives you like an image of what I want to be when I grow up.
Well, I teach the education and training pathway, so automatically we do things that involve like future teacher stuff. So we really only have about 8 weeks solid instruction in the classroom, and then we're already taking the kids off campus to visit the elementary schools. They're paired with a classroom teacher, and then they're able to get some of those experiences that we've been discussing. And one year I had a student come to me and she said, "Ms. Rod," and I was like, "Yes." She said, "I'm gonna be a teacher." I said, "What?" I'm like, what do you mean? Like, it was the beginning, like, of the semester. We only had a few weeks in. And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she was a first-year student. She wasn't even in my third class yet. And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "After today, after junior achievement, I know this is what I want to do."
Within that program of study, we also incorporate work-based learning opportunities, and this is done through their instructional practices course, which is the last course that the seniors take. Within this course, our students go to the campuses, to the elementary campuses, and they partner up with a certified teacher, and they help in the creation and in the delivery of the lesson plans for the students. So they have direct contact with our students under the supervision of a certified teacher.
We strongly believe that the education prep program, and of course the TAFE is the organization that they compete is vital to our supply chain, if you would want to say it that way, for future teachers. We recognize the importance of building relationships with our TAFE kids, so to let them know that we want them the moment they finish. We give them a little card once they graduate. If they're able to complete their degree within a 4-year time, there's a job that's promised for them as a teacher.
I have become interested in education for all my life, for as long as I can remember, but it actually stuck with me when I was in 8th grade. That was the time when they had to pressure you into knowing what you wanted to do so you can take the classes that you wanted to take in high school. And I saw all of the teachers around me and how they made an impact on the students, so I decided that was the pathway that I wanted to take.
Well, so far I've been in TAFE for almost over 2 years now, and it's just been incredible. Right now we just finished our 6-week program at Killam Elementary School, and we've just learned everything about these students and how exactly the environments work.
It's just very creative. My rules, my rewards, all of these I created with my honors and awards. I was a cheerleader my freshman year.
We're trying to move those courses, those introduction courses, to the middle school. So we started at 8th grade level. So we identify students 7th grade to see those that are interested in education, and then we place them in the course, principles education. So then when they go off to high school, they can start with a level 2 course. One of the reasons for doing that is they can reach the upper level courses junior and senior year, which consists of practicums, internships, so on and so forth. If the students complete 2 of these courses, one of them being instructional practices or the practicum, they will achieve an educational aid certification. So that's one of our goals. We also have an early college pathway at one of our high schools, J.W. Nixon High School. And in that pathway, these students are allotted the opportunity to gain 60 college hours. So they get their basics done, their core, and then they also get the core for the education. They take 4 college courses that are geared in the educational field, and these are completely transferable to any Texas public university. In this case, we align it to TAMIU, which is our IHE, our Institute of Higher Education here at locally, our university.
One of our own, of course, you know, the example of growing our own. She was 21 years old, if you can believe that, and she was teaching, you know, algebra, I believe, and geometry courses, maybe 4 or 5 years older than the students that she was responsible for. So it was a great experience, and she's still teaching. Just because you may have circumstances at home, just because you may have financial difficulties at home, we do have support structures in place to give you the opportunities to do something with your life.
So that if there were any tripwires or obstacles in their way, that, you know, we help them remove them, overcome them, creating that pathway for our students to whether they're in their upper elementary grades, 5th grade, or at the middle school. And it starts with awareness. You know, if you want to become a teacher, this is what it's going to take. And then, you know, getting the families involved, the parents, you know, because we still have a lot of students that are first generation college goers. And we want to be able to provide them the opportunities to see what's out there.
Sometimes I feel like the career path of a teacher doesn't hold the same prestige, I guess, as an architect, as a lawyer, as a doctor, as an accountant. So we need to kind of build that up, and you know, it's difficult, it's a challenge, but maybe community, university, and everybody together, we could get that going.
So when Laredo ISD decided to offer the dual enrollment at no cost to the students. These are college classes that they're going to be saving money, because the state can decide whether they want to give you money or not, or the federal, right? Or the students have to work right away and they can't go to school. So what we decided to do was, like, those students that were at risk of not continuing, those are the ones we're going to target. And we're going to offer these dual classes, and we're going to make sure that we prepare them so that they can meet the qualifications to take these classes, and we're going to shave off 2 years of their college.
We're very lucky that we work with the university, with James O'Mara, with Branch Alliance, and we have meetings where we actually go and present to their staff on what we're doing here at LISD to make sure that what we look for is being taught before they leave the university. Let them do our blocks in our schools. And then when we do, we put them with our best teachers. And then when they're about to graduate, we say, come to our job fairs. Come and see what we can offer you.
Actually, my first idea of what I wanted to become was a therapist for children and for families in general who needed it. But then, I don't know, like, I took the psychology class and I didn't really like it, so it wasn't really for me. And then I had the Principles of Education and Training class, which is the class that we're in for TAFE. And then from there, I kind of realized that I really liked it.
They asked me, what career did you want to be in? I was like, I really wanted to be a teacher. Like, I don't know if there's anything that can help me or be beneficial in the school for me. And they ended up telling me that there was a program that teaches you how to become a teacher, what you need to become a teacher, and actually gives you the experience to be a teacher. And I was mind blown. It was the three classes that we take in the beginning. It's Principles of Education, Human Growth Development, and then it's also
it's the
practicum.
Practice
development.
It's instructional practices. And thanks to our mentor, who is Ms. Amanda Benavides, she has taught us really well, and she's set us to high expectations, which is phenomenal. I see how other students that are competing don't have the criteria that we have, and our mentor just really made sure that we have our things. So United High School really did outstanding with how they taught us.
And so we would like go through like alliteration, like all the formulas that you would need to understand the material that you're reading to take the STAR in like the test. And I just love the way she taught. I was like, oh my God, like the way she set up this was amazing. Like, I want to do that. I want to be that teacher that can set up that information and be neat with and have students understand. Because she taught us like an army. Like, she would like give us a paragraph and like answer the questions and boom, we'll finish it in 5 minutes. So when I took my STAR, I was like really like on it. So I was like, I want to do that. I want to be that influence for students like that I'm in now.
I really think I feel very sympathetic for people that don't take the program. A lot of people don't know that they have the opportunity to take it, and it should be more spoken about. Like, now I have a future career. I'm prepared for a future career, and there's plenty of other kids that would probably want to be a teacher and don't know that their schools have these programs. Like, let's say I want to become a teacher aide. I will start my teacher pay. From there, I could still be going to college as a teacher aide, and from there, after my, like, let's say I've been working 2 years as a teacher aide and going to college, then I get my full degree and my bachelor's. When I become a teacher, I will be making the money that I had been working as a teacher aide. So I will start with a higher pay as a teacher, and it's just like I have my whole plan future, like my plan like figured out. Like, I know when I'm gonna move out, I know everything. Like, this class has prepared me for everything.
And the certification that she's talking about is actually something new that just recently started, because before it used to be like you would take the program and then it would like kind of end there. But recently, tons of like teachers that are in that course have been like pushing, like they're doing so much already. Like, they're technically already like teaching. They're a teacher.
So what I've noticed is sometimes some students might be missing a requirement before they can get in. And that does bring some challenges, but we try to work really hard with that student to get them in. And I don't want to discourage anybody and just tell them, I know you're pending a class. You're not core complete. And I go, I apologize. We're still going to get you in, but it may not be for next semester. But we're going to get you in for the following semester. When I started here this past summer, I was placed as the co-advisor to Taffy, and I saw the tremendous growth just in that first week that I got to meet them. I got to take them to a national conference in Washington, D.C., and I could see their nerves and how they were so scared to be competing in this competition. It was the first time TAMIU was going. They advanced from state to nationals. They didn't know what to expect at a collegiate national level. And we were proud to say that we became national champions.
I hope to inspire more of my family because there's not a lot of people who has gone to college. So every time that I'm with my niece and nephew, I always say, like, they always ask me, what grade are you in, Tia? And I'm like, I'm in college, what's that? And so I had to explain to them what is college and what is a university. So that's my goal, to like inspire them both to actually pursue that career, because not a lot of people from my family has come to college.
We've been accomplishing a lot in our chapter as well. We've been going to the schools, giving our members the opportunity of being a teachers for a day, also working on their lesson plans and things like that, creating study sessions within our classes for those that are going to be taking the rep exams and things like that. So it's been great. It's been a lot of change, a lot of growth as well.
The most excited about right now, I hopefully want to win the state competition and maybe nationals. And then for my personal teaching, I would like to have my own classroom and graduate as soon as I can. And maybe even go into the administration in the educational field, to make it easier for new teachers and to provide better educational resources for our kiddos.
You're influencing others, you're inspiring others, you definitely leave an impact. I know for me, I definitely remember some of my teachers back when I was in elementary or secondary, and it's definitely such a good feeling, you know, leaving an impact on potentially someone's life.
And I spoke to one of my high school teachers, and she motivated me, and she gave me these words of inspiration that were just kind of like, why don't you try teaching? Like, just try it out, maybe you'll like it. So I did. I tried it out for a summer. I went to go help the summer school, and it was really fun. I really liked it. I realized, like, oh, you know what? I'll give this a shot. So switched my major, and here I am now.
But it gets interesting because you get to learn different ways on how to help the students, what it is that, what strategies you can use to help them be more inclusive in the classroom.
Being in TAFE has been great. I've had a lot of growth as an educator, as a future educator. It helps with networking a lot, and it helps with experience. We do JA, which helps us be on the field and experience what it's like to be a teacher. So it's a lot of experience building and forming connections and knowing how to socialize.
As a first generation, you don't have that guidance or that example that you can rely on, and it's a little difficult trying to navigate through the college transition on your own. So I think that in regards to that, I appreciate a lot what TAFE has done for me and what Dr. O'Mara and advisors have done, because they've worked with us hand in hand in providing all the resources for us, laying all the cards on the table.
I feel like pretty much any student who graduates and comes through this pathway, especially here at TAMU College of Ed, will be very well prepared, because it's a team effort to try to get them as knowledgeable as possible, from the admissions to advising, keeping them on track within the pathway with myself and the other undergraduate advisor, even with certification with our testing coordinator. It's more of a team family effort, and I feel like our students know that.
My responsibility to place them in the schools to get their experiences with teachers requires coordinating transportation issues, dealing with students who may not have the ability to travel around our district campuses, and so kind of helping them navigate through that, and communicating their needs so that I can place them accordingly, make sure that they have the proper experiences and are able to get to those experiences.
And my primary role is to ensure that the students that are enrolled are Texas exam complete prior to entering their last clinical teaching semester. So I am kind of keeping track of them in terms of examinations and getting them ready, of course, for the exam.
I see a lot of, we call them stop outs, which mean that, the students are on a schedule and they'll stop, all of a sudden, because of course life happens. There's things that we can't control in our lives. So we do see that obstacle of, hey, let's see how we can get around to maybe offering a little bit more courses. That way when they return, they're not so behind and they're like, wow, it's gonna take me another year, So things like that, we kind of want to address the availability of courses, making them more accessible to students' schedules when they return from that stop-out period.
The administration that we have, our faculty is outstanding. They're caring people. They're here to understand and listen. So I would say, yeah, go to college, go to the university. Don't let yourself think you can't do it, because you can do it. Like they say, sí se puede.
There's always an issue that they come in with a negative and they come out with a positive. The way that Dean spins things around here, he makes sure that the student is listened to and works with them. And I can almost guarantee that after every conversation, the student comes in a little upset or somber and leaves with a smile, and you hear some laughing. So we know that something good happened, in that discussion.
What a better place than for them to get the experience at home, like in this town, and then, because majority we would love our graduates to come back and teach here in this community. So it'd be great to get that hands-on experience in the community while helping the community come, as they graduate to, give that experience back.
That feeling I get when I'm mentoring a student or a mentee or teaching, it's exhilarating. There's no word for it. When their eyes light up, when they finally understand something, or there's that spark of imagination, my heart becomes so warm, and I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing for the rest of my life.
Sure, we had our ups and downs, but we supported her and gave her the opportunity to make a decision with our support in whatever way we could, and our family, and we always took the moments when she needed to have that hug, to give her that support. We were there, and we never gave it up.
It's all about those partnerships. TAMU has created all these partnerships, not just with schools abroad, like with the international students we have here, but with other organizations that work together to just create that communication, those relationships together, because you can't do it alone. You can't make a university student by themselves. No, it takes a village.
And we have a lot of faith and tons of hope. And lots of love too.
There's a lot of hugs at our house.
Yes.
That's great.
It just felt like a big family, and just talking about how we were going to get our foot in that classroom. What was our pathway, and kind of helping each other, get to that goal. Because at the end, we want to be educators. We want to teach the next generation of scholars. So we're kind of just conversing with one another to kind of just say, oh, okay, so you're going to go with this school, you're going to sub first and then get your certification exams done, and how are you going to get there? Like, oh, do you have study preparation materials for me? Oh, I love that. Oh, take this class, or oh, I love this professor. Like, kind of helping each other.
I am currently retired, but I was an educator. And I have instilled in her whatever her passion is to continue. And when she told me she wanted to be an educator, I was, yes, go for it. You got it.
Her, she's pushed me. She's supported me. She takes away that worry that I have when it comes to the unknown, because often that's a big fear. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know how, because it's life, and she's just that person to tell you everything's gonna be okay. And so I owe a lot of my life to my grandma.
Did you have someone in your life that did that for you, that was your support?
No, I didn't. To be honest, no one, and I went on my own. But I always told her, you got me. I know how it feels to be alone and to do it on your own. I was the first one in my family to get my bachelor's degree and to become an educator, and I know she's gonna go further. She's going to go get her master's. And she's already planning her doctor's. And she's not going to stop. I know. And I just hope I'm there to keep on encouraging her, because she can go far. And she is going to go far. I know.
For the community, the teacher shortage. I mean, we see certain shortages all over the K through 12 area. So growing our own is very beneficial, because it also helps the students understand each other. Because when you come from the same place and you know what is out there, many times just the exposure of these students becoming teachers, giving back to their community and saying, you know what, this is the path that I took, this is the path that you can take.
It's my turn to be TAMU and give my hand out and bring these kids in, because a lot of these kids that are in that neighborhood don't believe that they can be in such a place. They don't even think this is Laredo. So we said, you know what, let's make this dream become a reality to them.
When you have knowledge, you have the key to success, and it's abundant when it comes to that. And that's something that I really want to spread onto other people. I want to go ahead and teach students who may not have a lot of opportunities to be to have access to that. I want them to know that with education, they can do whatever they put their mind to. And all they need to do is to believe in themselves and to have access to that education. And they just need one person to believe in them, and that's all they need.
I want to remind people what learning is about. It's not about taking a test or filling out a bunch of cookie cutter handouts. No. Learning is supposed to be fun. Learning is supposed to be engaging and exciting and even a little bit intimidating sometimes. But through curiosity and having that spark of imagination, you know, you can do anything. And that's what education is about, and that's what learning is about. And the second we remind ourselves of that, I think we can change the world. I know we can.
One thing that I had to acknowledge was failure. And so that was a really big challenge all in itself for me, because I didn't want to fail. I hated it. I could not feel it. I'm a straight A student, so something as a little nick in my grade, I can't stand it. And so, you know, when I'm trying to get better, one thing that I learned from TAMU is that the only way to get better is when you make mistakes. The only way you get better is when you fail, because how else are you going to improve if you don't have those mistakes? If you don't fail, it's important and it's crucial to be a better person, to improve, to learn, and that's something that I want to teach my students, because they're going through their own types of assessment, their own tests, and they tell me the same things I said, and they're like, Ms. Smith, I don't want to get a bad grade. Like, I'm gonna do awful. I don't want to do bad. And I'm like, well, right now, how else are you going to know what you need to work on? How else am I gonna know what you need to work on? So it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. Make mistakes with me, you know, because one day I'm not gonna be there. But I know that when I'm not there, you're gonna do way better, and you're gonna improve, and you're gonna do amazing. I can bet money on it because I believe in you.